Zelos for me has been that one micro brand that pushes the envelope for what is possible, and this is the most ambitious integrated sport bracelet watch they've done. It is the Zelos Artemis Damascus steel and titanium. It measures in at only 40mm wide, 10.2mm thick in the mid case, and a very compact lug-to-lug length of only 45.5mm. This is a very wearable integrated sport bracelet watch. The whole point of a skeletonized watch is to show off the inner workings of a movement, and also to showcase the watchmaker's pride in the individual detail work done to the components of the watch. To this degree, Zelos has done a fantastic job. The first line item in great decision making is the movement choice here, and that is the Swiss Marvin 700 movement. It is a movement that's been popularized in the 1950s and 60s, first used by the Election Watch Company, then passed over to Marvin. Eventually, Longines got their hands on the movement, and even Chrono Swiss has utilized this movement in their watches. It has a sub-seconds complication, which is perfect for skeletonization. Combined with the fairly large balance wheel and the barrel looming in the background of the watch, this is the perfect ingredients for skeletonization. Now, Zelos hasn't just gone and modified a movement, skeletonized it, and just left it unregulated. No, they've gone and dialed the movement in. I've tracked it at 0 seconds per day, dial facing up and down, and I've also have to note that this is the higher beat rate version at 21,600. Typical Marvin 700s have a lower beat rate of 18,000 vibrations per hour. This hand-wound beauty of a movement is married to a front fascia completely done in black rhodium with brushed finishing. This bridge-like internal front fascia has beveling and polished edges for high contrast and legibility. The hour indices sit on a fascia that is one stage higher than the rest of the watch on the outer perimeter of the dial. This gives it depth and dimension and aids in legibility. This is a completely bezel-less design. The 6 mounting screws from the front of the watch are screwed straight through the crystal into the mid case and terminate to the outside of the case back. The 2 yellow O-rings sandwiched between the crystal and the watch case are the only points of water resistance for this watch, giving you 50 meters of water resistance. Elshan, the owner of the company, mentioned that the greatest challenge to this watch is ensuring that the bezel-less design remains water resistant. The use of the 2 colorful yellow O-rings is genius to me. It matches that high contrast yellow seconds hand, and it is a unique design facet of this watch. Damascus steel is a technique where steel has been forged and twisted under high temperatures to achieve these very interesting patterns. It's fun to follow the patterns where they begin and end. It looks like wood grain pattern, if I may say so. The crown of the watch, this blacked out material, is actually titanium with DLC coating. First I thought it was ceramic, but it is indeed confirmed to be titanium. Now, we know that titanium can be stronger than steel given its weight, and that's the key definition here. The titanium here is grade 2. It is protected by the Damascus steel modular case construction. As mentioned, this does not appear to be a conventional screw-down case back. It has these rubber caps that seem to protect the other ends of the screws. Now that we've talked plenty about the front of the watch, the back of the watch continues the party. In terms of its detailed work and customization, Zelos has gone all out here. Chrono Swiss in the 80s had used this movement in their watches and modified it to their liking, and now Zelos has done the same. I can begin to see why. This movement is far more beautiful than an ETA 6497 movement, which I find is the more common denominator in manual wound watches these days. Being able to see that skeletonized balance and the balance wheel, even the barrel and individual gears, all underneath that skeletonized fascia that is in the same finishing as the front of the watch, is just scintillating. Yes, this is a very old movement and a very basic movement at that. It is still something to be said that the effort employed here shows pride and care in showcasing the individual components. How is the manual winding experience of this movement? You might be asking, because the movement is older, it may not wind nearly as nice as its newer counterparts. I will have to say it feels better to wind than an ETA 6497. There is no grittiness, and there isn't any major resistance to winding, little to no play in the crown as well. Even a bit of colorization, that orange stripe of color, is visible underneath the crown to let you know that it is pulled out and it's your last chance to put the crown back in before you find water inside of your watch. The 24mm lug width is complemented by this FKM rubber strap with Zelos hardware on the keepers and on the buckle as well. The buckle itself is actually a titanium DLC coated material, and we will talk about the benefits of this strap. There are plenty of eyelets to get the micro adjustments you want for comfort on the wrist. The back of the strap is also vented out by this grid-like material, so during the summertime, this should be a fairly comfortable rubber strap to wear. Appreciate the Zelos embellishment, being the fact that it's also quick release, gives me the hope that Zelos will expand on the strap catalog for this watch. Please do a yellow rubber strap for this watch, Zelos, if you're listening. The choice of an FKM rubber strap offers much better durability, chemical resistance, and high temperature stability in general to natural rubber straps. The only thing is that FKM rubber straps tend to be a little bit stiffer and less comfortable, but they are less prone to discoloration over time. Now, I'm glad that you get plenty of eyelets for adjustments, because on my 6.4-inch wide wrist, I'm pretty much on the third keeper from the top. So if you've got a smaller wrist of around 6 to 6.2 inches, this may be a little bit tougher of a watch to wear. With any integrated sport bracelet watch, the rubber strap or the bracelet that's included is pretty much all you get in terms of the options available for comfort. So it better be a good strap or bracelet at that, and I'm happy to report that the rubber strap is well matched to this watch. It is comfortable. It tapers from 24mm down to 18mm at the buckle, and the keepers are generously sized. They don't get in the way at all. The fitment of the watch on the wrist is remarkable. Now again, on my flat wrist, those relatively curved lugs come right down to the wrist for maximum comfort, in my opinion. The use of Superluminova C3 here is a smart choice, as it offers great longevity and reactivity that's suitable for most dim lighting conditions for legibility. In my opinion here, the lume is generously applied. I think there are good amounts of it on the applied indices, and the hands are prominent enough for good differentiation and distinction in the dark. Now, what are some areas of improvement? I think the pricing is aggressive. At $23.99 US, you might argue this might be more on the expensive side that you would want to pay for a micro brand, but this is Zelos's flagship foray into the integrated sport bracelet watch that's fully skeletonized. The only competitor I can think of would be the Christopher Ward 12X, which is a $6,300 Canadian watch. Very expensive. I think these are going to be rather limited if I'm going by the Sky Raider skeletonized, quickly sold out and is sought after. I would say get these while you can. The only other area of improvement is please offer more strap selection choices. Yellow, blue, give us more color. Match the color of the O-rings if you can. By far, this is the most unique integrated sport bracelet watch that I've encountered, and I will say that for a trend that seems to be fading a little bit, this watch is refreshing to see in the market. It will set you back nearly 5 figures to get into the privilege of owning a fully skeletonized integrated sport bracelet watch. You can skip that altogether and get into this Zelos Artemis. The nearest competitor in that luxury watch space might very well be the Zenith Defy skeletonized. Again, more than 5 figures. Now, I have to say, I've been struggling to find any marks of negativity on this watch. I'd like more water resistance. I'd like a screw down crown, more strap options, but outside of that, this is a 9 out of 10 release. If you liked today's video, please leave a comment and like the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.